Hey guys, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm excited to do something just a little bit different, and I'm calling this fact or fad. And this is where I want to take a look at some ingredients and do a deep dive, really discovering if these skincare ingredients really have data behind them, if they are either promising or proven, or are they just kind of the latest thing? Maybe they're just a fad. So I'm really excited today. We're going to be diving into probiotics, which is a topic in skincare I've been really interested to learn more about. So I'm excited to share my findings. Then we're going to jump into the propolis, honey, royal jelly kind of area. I think those ingredients get confused for each other a lot, and we're going to dive into how effective they can be for the skin. And then finally, we're going to talk about an awesome fermented ingredient, Galactomyces. Now, heads up, today's video is sponsored by Stylevana. They are an Asian beauty retailer based in Hong Kong. They've got K-beauty, they've got J-beauty, they've got makeup, skincare. They even have some fashion items. So thank you so much to making this video possible. If you guys are so ready to decide fact or fad, give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. What is a probiotic? It's basically just a microorganism that helps make up your skin's microbiome. Just like you have a microbiome in your gut, you do have one on top of your skin, and it really works alongside of your immune system to keep your skin healthy, really to help fend off like foreign bacteria and really protect your body. This is going to be something that's going to work alongside of your moisture barrier to really help keep your skin protected. Your microbiome also plays a really important role in keeping the level of your skin's pH, remember 5.5, keeping that slightly acidic, and that also helps to fend off like really harmful bacteria, including the acne bacteria. So I learned a lot through my research about probiotics that is really interesting. One thing that really struck me is the fact that just 10 years ago, studying the microbiome of your skin, researchers were able to identify about 200 microorganisms in your skin's microbiome. But today, fast forward 10 years, today we know about 1 trillion. So that just really illustrates how new all of this information and research is, right? And how much we're still learning. This is not perfected by any means. We are continuing to discover new things about this microbiome every single day and the role that it plays in our skin health, which really brings us to the question, is this, as a skincare ingredient, is this a fact? Is this proven, or is this more of a fad? Is this more of a trend in skincare? A lot of research suggests that your skin's microbiome is fine. Like, you just leave it alone. Don't worry about it so much. It's probably working really hard and really well for you without you needing to mess around with it that much. And yet, on the other hand, there is some research to suggest that if you're very acne prone, right, especially if you get a lot of like bacterial acne, because if you think about it, your microbiome helps protect you from an overgrowth of bacteria. So if you get a lot of acne, if you have very dry and tight skin, dehydrated skin, because that microbiome kind of helps support your moisture barrier, has that protective function. If you have that like kind of sensitive and irritated skin, it might not hurt. You know what I mean? It can't hurt to add probiotics into your skincare routine because there is evidence that suggests these types of ingredients can help those types of concerns. So fact or fad, I'm going to put this into the promising but not yet proven category, meaning it could be worth it to add this into your skincare routine. It's just so new that we can't say for sure fact, but it's not quite 100% fad either. It's just about finding the right product for you. All right, so let's talk about some products that contain probiotics, and both of these come from the brand Scinic. This is their probiotics toner and the intense ampoule. Let's talk about the probiotics first, because both the toner and the ampoule are both using the same variety of probiotics: Saccharomyces ferment, Bifida ferment lysate, as well as Lactococcus ferment lysate. Now, in the toner for all three of these, it's about 0.03% of each of those fermented ingredients. Now in the Ampoule, it's a lot more compelling. We have 23% of Saccharomyces ferment and 22% respectively for the Bifida ferment and the Lactococcus ferment lysate. So let's talk about the texture and performance of the toner. This is very fluidy. It is a milky looking fluid, but it's very, very runny. It sinks in the skin really immediately, and this is just something that is really hydrating. Just a whisper of moisture, but it's not the type of moisture that feels really rich, or I hate to use the word greasy. This does contain an ingredient I've talked about before called diphenyl dimethicone. This is a fluid silicone. It is considered like a moisturizing ingredient or an emollient ingredient, and it does have that characteristic, you know, it's very light. It's kind of an elegant feel. Quite honestly, this is not like a heavy makeup primer type of feel on the skin, but it does have that silicone finish to it where it just leaves the top of your skin feeling really soft, really conditioned. Some people absolutely love it. Some people absolutely hate it. I don't really care one way or the other, but it is a very distinctive feel on the skin. Now the texture of the Ampoule, this texture, I really have to describe it kind of like a gel cream type of texture. It's got that milky look to it. It does spread across the skin really nicely, and it does absorb in a really lightweight layer on the skin. I would say that this is mostly hydrating, again with that sort of whisper of balancing moisture to it, a little bit more obviously than the toner is. And again, we do have that diphenyl dimethicone, so you're going to get that real characteristic skin conditioning, softening, sort of silky feel at the top of your skin with this one. So does it work? You know, that's really the question at hand. Bluntly, honestly, I was not able to test these products for a long enough time to really say with like in my heart certainty, no, they don't work, or yes, they do work. You know, I've used them long enough now that I'm starting to feel like I don't think that they're doing like magic for my skin, right? I mean, I think that the textures are pleasing. They worked well along my other skincare products. You know, they did bring balance, you know, hydration and moisture into my skincare routine. In that sense, they were, you know, really nice. But as far as like actual like probiotic promised benefits, it's really hard for me to say. You know, where it comes to with probiotics is really kind of what I said when I answered fact or fad. There's a lot of promising research behind it. Finding the very right product for you is probably going to be a challenge, but it could definitely be worth it. I just don't think that we're quite to the point where we can say probiotics, yeah, we got this down for sure. I think it's still a little bit up in the air with effective formulations, effective products, and really being able to get all the benefits from those ingredients into our skin. I think it's still kind of, you know, it's still emerging a new science. So is it worth a try? If you're really interested in probiotics, it's always worth giving it a try. But is it exactly a fact? Not yet. Now let's talk about propolis, honey, and sometimes royal jelly. Now particularly propolis and honey get confused for each other. The terms are used interchangeably and a lot of us think it means the same thing, and it doesn't. Propolis and honey are definitely, and royal jelly, are definitely all products that come from honey bees, but they're all three different ingredients with slightly different advantages in skincare. So honey is that sweet liquid that is processed by bees, and it has a really good moisturizing property for the skin, and it can bring some fantastic antibacterial benefits. Now, propolis is often referred to as bee glue. It's this resinous substance that they create combining their saliva, sap, and matter from surrounding trees and plants, and it creates this substance that is very sticky and it holds the honey bee hive together. The word propolis is actually from the Greek word pro, which means defense, and polis, which means city. So this is the substance that defends their community or their city from the outside. Propolis has a lot of different benefits for skincare, and it's all of the antis, the good ones. It's antiseptic, it's anti-inflammatory, it's antibacterial, antifungal, and it's also considered not only a moisturizing ingredient, but also a humectant, which means that it brings hydration into the skin, but it also moisturizes. And we can't forget, Propolis has a really fantastic wound healing benefit for the skin. Royal jelly is this white, viscous jelly type of solution that is secreted from worker bees, and it is fed to the queen bee. Now, royal jelly, when found in skincare, it's very antibacterial, it's anti-inflammatory, and it does have a soothing effect to the skin. Now, I think most of us have some type of experience or knowledge of these ingredients. I mean, they're very popular. You can find them in a good, variety of different products. And part of that reason is just they've been used for so long. I mean, they've been used for centuries. You can go back and find beauty recipes Cleopatra used with honey, right? I mean, you can find these ingredients in traditional medicine and beauty recipes, but you can find them today as well. They are modern ingredients as well as traditional ingredients. And because of that, because of our use of them for so long, they're really well studied. They're really well understood. I mean, we can always do more research. We can always learn more, but there's a lot of evidence to suggest that honey, propolis, royal jelly all do bring some benefits into the skin. Is it as powerful as retinol or vitamin C? Of course not. This is a whole different class of ingredient here, but it's definitely really well documented to be a very soothing, moisturizing, balancing, antibacterial, and anti-inflammation sort of class of ingredients. So let's talk products, and both are coming from the Skinfood Royal Honey line. And I'm so excited to first talk about the Royal Honey Propolis Enrich Essence. Oh yes, I love this product. Talking about all three ingredients, all three are found in this product. They're really harnessing the trifecta of honeybee products. So we've got 63% of propolis. We also have 10% of honey extract and 10% of royal jelly. So if you're kind of interested in all three ingredients, this is a great product to kind of harness the power of all three. Now, this is a really beautiful medium weight serum. It feels so silky, and it does have this really nice moisture to it. There is a humectant element to this. This definitely does bring a little bit of that hydration, but it also brings some really nice moisture to your skin. That's not oily. That's not greasy. You can feel, especially if you've tried a lot of different propolis products, you can feel that there's some honey in this because those textures are slightly different. You can feel there's just a little bit more oomph to this. There's a little bit more moisture, just a little bit more of that honey whisper to this propolis serum. In my mind, this one, where it really shines best is when your skin is really needing that propolis moisture, and when it's kind of irritated, when it needs soothing, when it needs comforting, anti-irritation care, anti-inflammation care. This serum really does shine in that area. It really does calm and soothe and protect the skin. It feels quite like a healing type of serum, especially when you do have irritated skin, because it brings some comfort and relief. And one of the nice sort of like side effects, if you will, of this serum is it does seem to bring that really healthy propolis glow to the skin. So who doesn't love when they can use a skincare product that's working on the inside to really like help fortify their skin and moisturize it and make it feel stronger? But then you also get that nice little visual benefit where you're just like, hey, I'm glowing. Yes, I love it. So it definitely, it performs really, really nicely. Like I said, I've used this before and I've been a really big fan of it. I absolutely love it. The texture, so appealing. And this is the one that I definitely recommend. If you haven't tried it, you definitely need to give it a try. Now let's talk about the Skinfood Royal Honey 100 Hour Moisture Cream. This actually doesn't contain any propolis, but it does have honey extract and royal jelly. The texture's strange because it comes out looking like a regular old cream, but as you kind of like work it into your skin, it almost has this like melting effect. It's strange. It's like it almost kind of melts down to almost kind of like feeling like a water type cream, because you feel this like watery hydration, and it thins out on the skin, and it just creates this really nice light layer, but it is nourishing. It's got that nourishing slip to it. It's got that moisturization. You can feel the mango butter, you can feel the macadamia seed oil and the sunflower oil in this. You can feel that, but it's in a really unexpectedly light package. Now, I will admit, I didn't find this cream to be occlusive enough for my combo, sometimes dry, dehydrated skin. I need a nice occlusive, lock it down type of moisturizer. This doesn't have the occlusivity that I like for my face, but I actually found this to be so beneficial for my hands. Who doesn't need a good hand cream with all of the obsessive hand washing that we do these days? My hands get so dry, and this is the right amount of a light layer, not too thick. It absorbs in fast, but it's got that nourishment that replenishes that dry skin on my hands. I get really dry skin, really crackly cuticles. That's fun to say. I need that, but I can't be so super greasy that I can't open the door, right? The handle just like slips through. So this is kind of like that right balance between a lightweight, easily absorbed hand moisturizer that brings the nourishment. And the final ingredient I want to talk about is Galactomyces ferment. Now, us K-beauty and Asian beauty addicts are probably pretty familiar with this ingredient. It was discovered in the 1970s by Japanese beauty brand SK2, and there's a whole origin story. I know I've said it on my channel before, but I do actually find this to be a really entertaining type of story, just imagining these SK2 like scientists going into this sake like factory, and they're doing all this research, and they find out that these sake brewers, their hands, because they're sticking their hands into some kind of fermented sake yeast liquid. I don't know how sake is made, but they're like putting their hands into this fermented liquid because they're doing their jobs, and the scientists are like, hey, wait a second, like, show me your hands, like, can you hold them up to your face? These brewers had these really beautiful hands. They were like really like supple and like soft and like elastic and whatever, bright, right? But like their faces weren't. It's like so rude. It's like, your hands don't match your face. But that's what the scientists concluded. They were like, these hands don't match this face. Like the aging process is not matching up here. There's got to be some kind of magic in this liquid. So lo and behold, they do all these studies, and they really focus in on this one component found in this called Galactomyces. And when you ferment Galactomyces, it does all kinds of wonderful things for your skin. So the claims of this ingredient are really that it's fantastic for anti-aging. It can really help support the health of your skin, and it can really help brighten up your skin. They claim that it's jam-packed full of vitamins, minerals, amino acids for the skin. But, do studies back this up? And they actually do. So the studies do back up the anti-aging claims, because they found that Galactomyces ferment has a very protective quality for the skin because of its antioxidant content. So that's where like the anti-aging is coming in. They also have found that Galactomyces ferment can help signal to your skin to create more hyaluron in the epidermal cells. And this really contributes to very hydrated skin and to supporting your moisture barrier function. So it's definitely an ingredient that can bring some hydration and some skin strengthening and some skin health benefits. Not only that, but they kind of continuously are studying this ingredient, because the 1970s discovery, it's still fairly new, right? So a 2014 study did show benefits for pigmentation. Galactomyces ferment can really help, again, that's that brightening claim, really help with the pigmentation on your skin. And a 2015 study shows that it kind of really backs up that claim that it's really helpful for hydrating your skin and supporting your moisture barrier. So fact or fad, I think that even though this is a pretty young ingredient, this is definitely an ingredient that has shown and proven its benefits for our skin. This is the Scinic First Treatment Essence, and this combines Galactomyces ferment with niacinamide. So this is an ingredient that's going to help boost and sort of support the brightening benefit that we're already getting from Galactomyces ferment. So the texture is like classic First Essence texture. It's very thin. It's absorbed super easily into the skin. It feels like whisper weight on the skin. Like it feels like nothing on the skin. Now, this is actually surprisingly a really nice and super affordable First Essence, because it just absorbs in the skin really nicely, whisper weight, like no weird textures or like film happening on the skin. But one thing I really judge that First Essence by is, does it enhance the hydration of the toner I put on top of it? And this does. This really nicely does. Another product from Scinic is the Simple Calming Toner, which is a very nice and solid, very basic in the best way possible toner, but sometimes it doesn't feel like enough hydration for my skin. This was the perfect kind of combination because the first essence boosted the hydration of what I would consider to be an average toner. It made it work a lot harder for my skin. So I was impressed, number one, in that instance. And in number two, this brightens up your skin. That's the second thing I look for in first essences. Like, am I going to get a visible benefit? Because I really do expect the brightening to occur on my skin, especially when we're using something like Galactomyces ferment and niacinamide. And I was so pleasantly shocked by this. You know, I started testing this and I was using it for, I think it was like a week or so I was using it, but I kind of wasn't thinking about it. It was just kind of something I was adding into my routine, but I wasn't really thinking about it. And I remember one day I woke up and I looked in the mirror and I was like, whoa, like, I was like, I'm having like the best skin day right now. My skin looks so bright and so glowy. What the heck did I do last night? Like, did I put retinol on? Did I put my tretinoin on? And I was like, no, it's the only thing that it could have been was the first essence, because that was the only new thing. And I was like, wow, this is working really nicely. Another product is the Secret Key Starting Treatment Essential Mask Sheet. Sheet masks in general, really hard to find essential oil-free, fragrance-free, and alcohol-free sheet masks. This happens to be one that meets that criteria, surprisingly, right? You know, pre-pandemic, the only way that I am able to like talk about this year is like pre-pandemic and during pandemic. And then there's like lockdown and not lockdown. So pre-pandemic this year, I made a video about, I think it was 11 fragrance-free, essential oil-free, alcohol-free sheet masks. And this is one of them. Like I've been a fan of this mask for quite a while. This is actually my favorite variation of the Secret Key First Essences. They have their first essence, the rose edition of the first essence, and this sheet mask. And honestly, my favorite is this sheet mask. This is what I would call a great prep sheet mask. This is a really pleasing, hydrating type of essence that sinks into the skin really nicely. It gives you a really nice brightening, like, and skin evening benefit. That's the big reason why I say, like, do this in the morning so people can see your sheet mask glow, because it is one of those really reliable, like, you take it off and you're like, wow, my skin looks better, it looks healthier, it looks brighter. It's just, in all senses, that type of mask that you want to do, you know, in the morning so people can appreciate your sheet mask glow. A big thank you again to Stylevana for sponsoring this video. All the products in the video you can find on their website. If you want to do your own haul and maybe just pick up some of your favorites or some things you've had your eye on, I've got a discount code for you guys in the info box below, so you guys can use that and save some money. And I am curious to know, before you go, let me know in the comments, is there an ingredient that you think is a total fad, or an ingredient that you absolutely swear by as fact it is the best thing for your skin? Let me know in the comment box below. If you enjoyed the video and it was helpful for you, please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I release 2 new skincare focused videos every single week. Turn on notifications so you're never out of the loop when I post the new video. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I can't wait to see you in the next video, and you know I am always hoping that you are healthy, happy, and safe wherever in the world you are. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.